Hi everyone! Today we are going to be continuing in our beginner quilting series with how to sew your little hexies together to make a hexie flower. You need 7 hexies for this. You can check my last video for a tutorial on how to make these. You'll need to iron press them and then remove your little your English paper piecing papers. I find that punching a hole in the beginning before you even start sewing your hexies and then using a pin to pull them out is the best way to get them out without damaging your stitches. So you'll need to do that for all of your pieces and then kind of lay them out to see where you want your different things. This would be considered, what I did here would be considered fussy cutting. It's where you purposefully cut out certain areas of your fabric to feature different elements and to sew them all together. So take your centerpiece, and of course I'm using a regular hand quilting thread. It's I think it's 50-50 cotton polyester, but I'm not sure. It's labeled hand quilting or embroidery floss would work as well. And you'll need to have one big loop and then have the 2 pieces tied together at the end to create one continuous piece of thread. And you'll want to do 1 whip stitch around the 2 corners, and then using your needle kind of work between, like, right under the edge of the fabric. Not sure if other people do this. This was just, I tried to use whip stitches all the way around and I did not like how it looked because I didn't want to see the thread once I had everything pressed down. And in doing this you can see a little bit of that first whip stitch, but the rest of them are pretty hidden. It's very similar to an inside ladder stitch if you use those, but this will create a nice little seam that doesn't have thread poking out of it once you're all finished. And it's just kind of going back and finding the hole where you came up and pushing it through again. And you'll just continue this and use this stitching motion. It can be a little hard to get it started, but you'll just use this stitching motion going right up under the edges of your fabric to finish it out. And then you'll also finish with a whip stitch and begin again with your next hexie. So after doing that second whip stitch, open up your hexie, make sure everything looks right, and then choose the next one in your flower and do the same exact thing. Make sure it's the right direction before you fold it over. Do your 2 whip stitches to get you going, and those little invisible stitches in between them. The same way, you're going to go all the way around the center of the flower, and then we will also connect the petals in the same way, and just enjoy your stitches. As I said, just continue these all the way around, and then once you have all the centerpieces connected, you'll have this kind of floppy hexie flower. And to connect all of the in-between petals, you'll need to fold them over very similar and create that that open seam, and it's the same stitching. It's a little whip stitch all the way around to get you started and to anchor your pieces, and then do that little invisible stitch in between your pieces, and then knot it at the end once you reach the end of the hexie right here. And then you just do that all the way around and iron it flat, and then your hexie flower will be ready for the last installment of the video series next week, which will involve how to create and sew the mug rug that we're going to put your little hexie flower on. Again, just continue those stitches to connect all your petals together, and once you're finished, it should look like this, nice and ironed out flat, and one large piece. And the back is very thready, and you can undo all of those basting threads if you want. I leave them because it's not bothering me, but that's how you make your flower hexie. So once you are finished with that, we will select your fabrics. Go ahead and do that for next week, and we'll make your little mug rug. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up or subscribe, and we'll see you next week.